Hey y'all, it's the Calm Corner Show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Hey Soul Family, back again. I'm Erica, your favorite Astro homegirl. And this one is going to be on DDG and India Love. And yeah, we will get to Halle Bailey, but Halle deserves her own. So we'll do that one, soon. Well, let's get into it because we got a lot of people to cover. Want to try to get some readings out for y'all so I can start getting into your personals, okay? So welcome back for those that been riding with me, and welcome to all those that are new here. And for those that are new, I always get into a little bit of the astrology first before we get into the reading and get down to the cards, because it helps me to better understand who I'm reading about, all right? So let's get into it. So, as far as I know, they had the Streamer Awards a few days ago or over the weekend or whichever you want to say within the past week. And I'll get into some clips and I'll play them. I'll try to pull some up. I always try to catch y'all up to speed if you know and you've been riding with me, all right? So we'll get into a few of the clips. They said that she had a Kanye moment, like when he said to Beyonce, to Taylor Swift, hey, Beyonce is the winner. So, that kind of went over a little not so well for her. And they said that, her and DDG kind of are looking like it's a rift. So let's get into a little bit of them first, and then we'll get up to speed with the clips to kind of see what happened as well as what's ahead for them, all right, when we get into the reading. So let's see what's up. So I did, let's do DDG first, okay? And I hope y'all doing good. It's the top of the week. We got a lot going on in astrology and the planisphere, okay? With Mars and Saturn and all of them entering the chat. And we'll get into that in another video. So make sure y'all keep y'all notification bells on, okay? So DDG is a rapper, which I'm going to say he's, talented. Got several, streams or hustles or the way that he do things. So we clearly gonna say streamer because he was at the Streamer Awards, content creator, okay? He's actually from Pontiac, Michigan, okay? October 10th, which means he's a Libra sun, okay? His name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr. Ain't that some shit? So he is DDG, which is clearly his initials, okay? All right, so October 10th, 1010, okay? And known professionally as DDG, or Pontiac made DDG because of Pontiac, Michigan, I'm assuming. Rapper, singer, songwriter, and YouTuber, okay? So YouTuber. He started making videos in 2015 when he was enrolled at college at Central Michigan University and later dropped out, okay? Signed to Epic Records in 2020 and founded his own record label, Zooted Entertainment, long-time managers, and blah, blah. So we got the gist of it. So let's get into it. He's a Libra sun. And let's look which house. Okay, so this explains, that's why I like doing this, because it explains a lot about a person even before we even get down to the cards. So, guys, he's a Libra sun in his house of his home. So he's meant to be here in this life to make partnerships, to do business, relationships. His whole theme is all about relationships in his lifetime, okay? But he has another planetary placements there, so let's see what else. Okay, very much so. Venus rules Libra, and Venus also, rules Taurus. Those are the only two zodiac signs that are ruled by Venus. So very favored in his house because he has Mercury there. And Mercury is all about communication. So he's favored in communication, which we see he's a content creator, a YouTuber, a streamer, an artist, all of the things. And he will have Venus always, blowing kisses and putting a lot of love on his relationships and partnerships in his lifetime, okay? Let's see where his moon is. Okay, so that explains a lot as well. That Aquarius is in his house of home, which is represents family, and it looks like his Jupiter is also in Aquarius, okay? So his life is really about family, partnerships, group, friends, okay? He has Uranus, which is ruled by Aquarius. So honestly, guys, you know, he has a very favored chart. And it seems like, you know, we're able to kind of see him kind of navigate through tough times and little hiccups. And he can get into them, but he's always got a way to kind of finesse out of them, or where things just don't come down too bad on him, especially with the Halle baby and the child situation, okay? So I can see that right now. His let's see, okay, where the Saturn is. And his Saturn is actually in Aries. Bingo. Okay, so his Saturn is in that first house in Aries, okay? Aries rules the first house. And so his problems, remember Saturn, we can always see where the problems lie in the chart. His Saturn is about his identity and how he shows up in the world. He can piss you off. He can rub you the wrong way. You know, at some point, you know, let me see his age. How old is he? They said 97. Eventually, he's going to be experiencing a Saturn return, which is going to really start to, you know, come down on him. And he's going to, you know, through that transformation and through the challenges, either he's going to evolve into a better person in his life with his partnerships and how he deals with his people, his family, his friends, his business. Or one thing about Saturn, if you don't get the lesson the first time, when they come back around, he's going to tear that ass up. And that's the fact, Jack. So his Venus is in Sagittarius. Okay, so he's into exploration and moving around and, you know, exploring different lands and different things like that. So probably very hard to really truly maybe be, you know, Sagittarius can't, it's almost like they can't be tamed at times. But when they get ready to settle, they will. But it's when they decide, okay? And his Mars is also in Sagittarius. That's interesting. So how he takes action and how he moves, which is communication in front of the world. So he's meant to do what he's doing. He is doing it, all right? And let's see, that North Node is again in Virgo in his routine. And we can see that him on, I guess, you know, I don't watch him, but I know he's very well-known streamer, you know, in his communication on the internet, all that. So, and remember, Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, okay? And that is all about communication. So the healing in his wound is in Scorpio in that 8th house. So hidden issues, okay? But Pluto brings power. And also his Pluto is in Sagittarius as well. So he got two little kind of like mini stelliums in his chart, okay? And with that Pluto being there in Sagittarius, you know, he's gonna go through transformations in how he navigates the world and his ups and downs when he's, you know, into learning his life lessons, faith, you know, even when he dates, he's gonna like to explore, he likes to travel, but as well as maybe dating other ethnicities as well too, okay? So interesting. Let's look into, and Jupiter brings a lot of, power in that Aquarius sector too, especially in this house of home with Uranus being placed there. So let's look into Miss India Love, because everybody call her Miss Fine Ass India Love, all right? So her name is India Westbrooks, guys. San Antonio, California, Dos Campeche, Mexico, all right? So she must kind of be a little, I don't know if that's a part of Cali or what, but well, we know that's what she, you know, that's what it is, okay? Bio, she was born February 3rd, okay? So she is I thought she was a Pisces. Because February is Aquarius. She an Aquarius sun. I thought people kept saying she was a Pisces. That's interesting. That's why you gotta look. That's why it's important. See what I mean? So him and her have a connection for real. And it's funny because she's an Aquarius sun in the 12th house. That's like open enemies, was hidden. And her rising is even in Aquarius. So this is the connection between these two. Alright? I can see it right now. For us, you know, I think some people are like, is this real or is this fake? You know. But it's interesting to see that. Her Mars is also in Aquarius where she takes action. Her sexual libido. Interesting. So they do have a connection, guys. Now her Saturn is in Pisces. And it's in its second house. So in this world, she will go through, you know, changes in how she's trying to figure out her way. Okay? In other words, she's trying to figure out what is she going to do in this lifetime to take care of herself. Does she have a real career? You know, I'm thinking she's streaming, then she's modeling, and I think acting and doing all these different things. So with that Pisces house, that spiritual house in that second house is how you take care of yourself, how you feed the baby. Remember, first house is who you show up as in the world, who you are, the avatar in this matrix of it all. So we can see where she can have the challenges and trying to figure out what exactly will she do in this lifetime that will, you know, how, you know, what will be her actual career that she will truly show up in and be. All right. Interestingly enough, it's like an opposite here. His seventh house, he's, you know, in his house of home, DDG, is in Libra, right? Her Venus is also in Pisces. So she can date all different types of people. She can, you know, it could be like how people like, how the hell she with DDG? It explains it because her Venus is there as well, okay? Her Jupiter is in Capricorn, guys. And that is in that 11th house. Wow, it's like she got a little stellium there, sort of, kind of, right? So let's check that out real quick. That's the relationships, pennies from heaven, which they can kind of mesh well because Capricorn and Aquarius definitely have a relationship, okay? Even though Saturn is the challenge, so to speak, because, you know, ruled by Capricorn. So her Pluto is in Sag, and his Pluto is in Sag. So they can meet, and then this may not, it may be short-lived with these two. But they do have other placements that you could see where the relationship can work in favor, okay? Her North Node is in Libra, and it's interesting because her Libra house is the 9th house. But also, Chiron is there, and that's the wounded warrior. So her Chiron is in Libra. DDG is a Libra sun. Communication house. Philosophy house, how she learns. So when she stood up on the stage and said he was the winner, remember Libra is about balance and justice and partnerships, okay? So she really felt like she was standing for someone who she cared about or have love for. And that was honest, but not necessarily at the right time. Chiron, the womb, energy. But it's to her to ascend in how she collaborates and how she learns in this lifetime, finding the balance in that. So we're going to see shakeups in communication and how she communicates, okay? That's interesting because for some reason, everybody keeps saying she a Pisces. She not. Her birthday, 203, the same day as Uncle Mom and Cross, my Crossy Cross. Cross Pat and Big Boy Bat. Yeah, they both 203. That's Aquarius. One more thing, guys, before we get on up out of here and get into the cards. So her moon is in Leo. Okay, and so her partnership house of relationships is Leo. So with that moon there, it's going to shine light on the relationships. And Leo is about, you know, fame and creativity. So that's why she's around or will have partners that will be famous or, you know, stars, so to speak. Okay? So that's a good understanding of her. So she's, you know, meant to shine, especially in her partnership house and her collaborations as well. So they both kind of got similar favor. Different but similar. Okay? But her Saturn and that Pisces energy is where she is falling, you know, into her trying to find her way. But her career house is ruled by Sagittarius, which is interesting because it's meant for her. And her Pluto is there, right? She gonna have transformations too in that house, which we can see how this just happened to her. And then she has a lot of kind of ups and downs. So in her career sector, she'll also, and I said that already in the chart, that she's gonna experience transformations, right? But with Sagittarius being in that house of career, it's meant for her to travel, it's meant for her to explore, but also meant for her to learn. And it will be alternative ways that she can show up in the world where she would be very, very, you know, viable and successful. So she has to take that creativity and push it towards maybe how she can teach and show up for people, you know, kind of like motivate in a sense too, because, and it could be, you know, different things. It won't be the traditional, like how people are traditionally Christians and things like that. It'll be alternative ways, but she'll be successful when she shifts it in that direction. So, all right, y'all, enough is enough. Let's get into the cards. All right, let's see what's going on with these two. All right.
But I want to say this.
Shout out to DDG Clips.
This isn't the end all be all. I appreciate all of y'all that took the time to, you know what I'm saying? Took the time to vote. Shout out to y'all that went to all them comms to like voting. Be honest, but I couldn't hear. I really couldn't. I swear I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear nothing. So that's why the performance wasn't that good. You know, it's all good. Who gives a? It is what it is. I seen what India did. I checked on her, made sure she was straight. I know a lot of y'all felt frustrated. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Shout out to Adapt. Adapt went crazy. Everybody went crazy in their own way. You know, that's the point of a community. You feel me? It's the point. The point of a community is we in this together.
Love decided to shift the spotlight.
Shout out to what's
Breakout
trending.
Streamer of the Year went to Adapt. And congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai, shout out. Blah, 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 blah.
Now, the clip of India Love seems to have been deleted from the official replay on QT Cinderella's channel, but not before Clippers quickly shared the moment online. The room turned on her instantly before security stepped in to escort her out of the venue. And social media immediately lit up, debating whether this was a brave protest for Rakai and DDG or just a messy stunt for clout.
Hold on. Happy Thanksgiving. $1 million for the neck up. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Mom.
God doesn't do that. But I want you guys to just be a part of my journey, because it's a journey, and I am okay with showcasing my ups and downs, and it's okay, but that's what I want to do. So January 3rd, no weed, no alcohol. So that's just what that is. Until then, I will learn my boundaries. Until January 3rd, I will learn my boundaries of like how many drinks does it take to get with me type shit, you know? So God is really watching me closely, like really closely.
Yo,
All right, so family, let's get into it. This is gonna be on y'all know DDG and India Love, so let's get into the cards and let's see his current energy first, okay? Especially with that streamer award situation and all the things. So let's get into it. Let's see. Now I already blessed the card, so let me put the energy. Okay. Let's see what's up with him, okay? Mr. DDG. Let me slide him over there. Hope y'all doing good out there. A lot going on out here, ain't it, in these streets, child? What did I just drop? I'm back to me, but cool. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so DDG, all right. Okay, let's see. What's up with him? Okay. Two of them came out, so we're gonna take it. Oh. Okay. Okay, DDG. Damn. Thank you, Spirit. Take it. Okay. It's a lot, but okay. Let's move it over. I want y'all to be able to see. Okay. Okay. A lot of energy. That's energy. That's interesting. Extra messages for DDG. Okay. A lot of keys. That's interesting. All right. Let's see what's up with him, child. I'm just unpacking the cards. So it's coming in, guys, as this King of Cups, right? So in his current energy space, he is working hard to, a mind over heart thing. Keeping his emotions in balance and in control is the energy that he's in right now, okay? In a place of keeping things balanced is his energy. And you got this Queen of Wands energy here. So, it could be an energy of how he viewed, because we asking about the current past energy, right? And we know that India Love is Aquarius sun, but she had that Leo moon. So he adores her and he admires her for her confidence and the way he viewed her current past wise, right? And her beauty and her creativity, okay? But as he continued to progress, and this is how he had the energy of the Knight of Cups for her, right? So there's feelings involved, okay? Even though people said they are friends, okay? But the messages are here. But somewhere along the lines, it got cloudy. The lines were blurred. It was started off as good, and him even having love for her in a sense, okay? It's a lot of cups on the table, so he really felt strongly towards her. But baby, when you see that 9 of Pentacles in reverse, when I tell you, if you've been riding with me, this is like, I always make a joke because of the puffy thing, but this is a little sex worker card, okay? So how he thought about her in an upright went here, okay? And that's the energy of how he felt like she carried herself, and now this is the way she carries herself, okay? In a, not so well energy of, remember they said she took the picture with the guy and she was leaning down and in a, provocative manner. Like that killed it for him, okay? And this put him in the energy and the mindset like, man, listen, not stable, superficial, like, coming up looking like a hoe. Let's just call it a thing what it is, okay? And look, this is where the energy lies. This is about how it came out. Page of Swords energy, right? This is like media card. You saw it online. It went viral when she took that picture. And he wasn't feeling that, okay? So it's like things were in an upward space with them. And it went to shit here because you can see the messages here. And when that news went viral and he saw that, the tower moment hit. So we already see the tower has happened, right? Because also, he didn't like the way she presented herself too at those awards show. It's right here. That's why I like to see the current energy before we even start asking questions, because the questions that you ask will come right up in the messages, right? Look at that. This represents how she came up there on the Streamer Awards and said that he deserved the award, as well as I don't know if the boy's name was Jakai. Don't mess me up because I'm learning all the people, okay? So don't shoot the messenger. But you know what I mean when she went up there and said what she said, which brought them to collapse, right? Which we already see, and people watching this, disconnect between the two of these play out, because he was pulling back once he saw this energy of her be revealed, okay? And look, she felt like they were cheated out of the award. So that's when she came up with that type of energy, right? But it's also, if they were in some form of connection here, which you can see, on some level, they were. because the messages are here, right? But this is where she ain't necessarily been on the up and up about all the people she dealt with or who she, may be, what she was really doing. So they show up as friends, but to me, this is more than friends. But then it dies out right here because of the way he's starting to see her show up to the people, to the public, to the world. This man, this is what he does, Page of Swords energy. He's a communicator, a streamer. You get what I'm saying? It's what he do for a living, a YouTuber. And here's this moment of collapse. And there's some things that she had and he didn't get to see. But this is also the negative backlash she received. He didn't like it. It's like he didn't want to be associated with that. He didn't like the energy that came from how she handled that situation at that award show as well. Even with the picture, there's a few things because of the position of the tower, right? Then you got the bad planning situation in front of you. The Two of Wands, because it's deceit in her dealing with somebody else. And I think allegedly, they said she may be dealing with Trevon.This, but this could just be her doing other things too. All right? Period. In general. And not to mention, this is what caused the conflict between the two of them. Y'all see the conflict here? And they may have exchanged or had words behind the scenes that we didn't get to see. Okay? You can see that in the cards. But he's choosing it to handle it in a way where he just pulls back. So he came with an offer. See that Knight of Cups? And obviously an offer because wasn't she new to the streaming platform and all the things to help her build whatever her platform was with the collaboration? Two of Wands. But her past behavior caused this issue right here. With him to pull back. Pull his offer off the table. Y'all see that? And he just in a place of, decisions to move forward. Move past her. Y'all see that? He done made up his mind. This is him. So he came up in his feelings at first. He had a spot for her. But as things progress, that shit is over with. Y'all see that? And he feel like it's a better decision to move past her energy. So we gonna see that's right now he in a mindset like he got his mind on his career, his money, his goals. And this just ain't what he got in mind. Moving forward with what he has in mind for himself, okay? Yeah. He got some challenges ahead, but even through the challenges, he's going to push forward with his creativity, all right? You see that? And how he moves forward with his career. Even if he does feel a way on some level when it comes to her, right? Damn, y'all, I just burnt my eye a little bit. I was eating a spicy pepper. I'm sorry. So never mind me, but I'm sorry about that. Let me fan my eye while we talking. Sorry about that, y'all. But anyhow, anyway, this is the current energy between him and India Love, okay? So we ain't even got to ask how he feel about her. He actually really did feel a way about her. It's clear because it's in the messages. But based on how she has handled the certain previous events, he cool on it. And that's the pullback that you see, So don't be surprised. It's cordial with that Pentacles energy. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? I'm going to continue to move forward and do what I do. And you do what you do. Okay? So let's see the current energy between him. I'm going to do a separate reading on Halle Bailey. But let's see the current energy that he has. Matter of fact, let's get some messy cards before we even do that. Oh, and look. His mind is on expansion. You see that? But also the Three of Wands represent her having other things going on too, right? And he could very well have other things going on as well. Let's be clear. But again, his mind, his life and career is more important than her shenanigans. Bottom line, okay? So, let's get some T cards on them. Matter of fact, let's pull these on them. And we'll even get some of them. We'll do a little of both. Okay? So, let's see what's up with them. DDG, baby. And Miss India Love. Alright? That's crazy how the messages will just come right out. DDG. And then we'll ask about her. Because I saw something now that say she was dealing with Trevon.This, the brother of Stone.This. I said, oh, child. But she is young, and I guess when you're young, this is the shit that you do. You move around, you bounce around, and you do what you got to do to, I guess you figure out what works for you. It's interesting to watch, though. Especially with the situation, y'all. Did y'all see the update with, I'm sorry, I got the fan in my eye. Let me see if I can get a napkin, too. Well, what's her name? Rashida Nicole and D'Angelo Ball. That's a mess. You know, you get them how you lose. I mean, you lose them how you get them, rather. That's what I meant to say. All right. So let's see what's up. Let's get some current messages, energy for DDG. Leave aside. Yep. It says she put out a heartfelt message in the love. Asking everybody, but I heard that what is it, the stream or whoever put her up to making that apology too. So almost like she wasn't gonna come down here and say nothing, probably. Cause from my understanding, they asked her to leave after she did that incident, kind of like a repeat of what Kanye did. You know, when for Beyonce against Taylor Swift. So her energy on DDG. DDG. See what messages come up now. I'm just interested to see, because we could see the messages in the cards. And she came up right before we even got, you know, had even asked about her. Mm-hmm. Damn. Damn. Okay. All right. The same cards be coming out for these people. It's so funny. Look, y'all. Y'all ready to laugh? And I'm going to say something, too. He also really, he say he want a relationship. He does want a relationship. Because it was also in the messages in those cards, too. Okay? So he got deja vu, repeating patterns, familiar lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before, okay? So having patterns of repetition when he's been going through these different situations in his life and energy, okay? Divine intervention, unexpected guidance, universe stepping in, redirected paths, saved just in time, right? So he's also gonna be, you know, ascending and having some, you know, moments of truth, right? Moments of clarity, rather. Closure, letting go, ending chapters, emotional release, finally free. You know, that was in the messages that we read, right? With that 8 of Cups and that moving forward and focusing on his self and his careers and projects. So this could be the answer of the ending of him and, you know, whatever him and India Love had going on. You know, it looks like they're going to be cordial and move forward, but closure on his end. Broken promises. Look, disappointed expectations, failed commitments, lost trust, words meant nothing. Then we see that in there with the 7 of Swords and the other energy. Can't make the messages up. Overnight success, rapid rise, sudden recognition, unexpected breakthrough, all eyes on me. In his energy with that King of Swords and him being a Twitch streamer, he had a lot of cards to focus on his career and his own personal success, okay? Speak up. You see that? And that's what he does. Expressing needs, defending yourself, courage to confront, your voice matters. That's the energy she really felt. Look at that heartbreak right there. Y'all see that? So she felt like she truly was standing up for what she thought. That's interesting. Look, cuffing season. He really do want a relationship with that Knight of Cups and King of Cups. Temporary relationships though. Seasonal companionship. Short-term one until spring. You see that? So this one never meant to go the distance, no way. This is the Tower card we saw. The false alarm, exaggerated panic, unnecessary drama, overreaction to minor events, much to do about nothing. That's how he felt about how she handled that situation. That's why the Tower was in reverse, right? Aren't they influencers? Influencer status, social recognition, online fame, power to influence, swipe up. Can't make the messages up. He was kind of pulling away at the awards. Remember, that's the poker face energy. Hiding true feelings, impossible to read, emotionally detached. You'll never know. So his goal is to move past his emotional true feelings, get into his King of Swords energy, and focus on his career, okay? But he hate the way that this happened. He did. We could see it in the cards. So let's ask the current energy around him and Halle Bailey and how he feel about her. Let's see. I had to drink a little bit of my drink. Let's get into it. Okay. Mr. DDG, baby. Yeah, man. DDG. Halle Bailey. I think Halle, she a Capricorn too, so let's see. Let's get that kind of energy with how they co-parenting. Moving forward on that end. And we'll get her energy when we do her reading by herself. But she got other things going on and dating new people too, right? Co-parenting the baby. The baby's so cute. She's so cute. Okay, so let's see. Let's get the messages. Okay. Damn. All right. Okay. It's the extra one. Okay. It's interesting. Okay, so. It's something in the energy when it's interesting because in his mind and in his current energy is for them to be able to, co-parent and have growth in the situation and how they were dealing with things in the past, and have a better way and progress in how they, interact and move forward, right? But something about the energy with him is like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's the energy of him feeling like he's doing what he should be doing to move forward, allow them to, communicate better and do things better, but not willing to see the truth on his end on how he handles things, okay? That's what this represents. And it's like they're at a stalemate energy. They at a standstill on how they they're communicating at this time, right? It's like he want to come in. It's like he's controlling, guys. He want to control the narrative on how he, he deals with her, or how they communicate, how they handle dealing with the child. And she meets him and greets him with a standstill as well. So if this the energy you on, then guess what? It's a cutoff altogether. It's an imbalance at the end of the day, right? It's like they trying to come together, which I think they have. They said in the legal aspects of them calling off the law situation, right? Because they definitely have had a lot of ups and downs with that. But this is the energy of he in a place in his right mind for career, but not in a good place when it comes to really allowing this relationship to get to a place of true healing, right? You see that? It's here. He's manipulative when it comes to Halle and how they deal. And this can go both ways, okay? Remember, justice is still, the balancing of the scales, right? So they both got to meet each other halfway. It looked like it's been a rocky road, right? But as they continue to move forward, because he has ways about him, she has ways about her. And this is Halle, right, y'all? But the Hierophant is here. So at some point, out of all the ups and downs they've been through, because they both got ways about them. He got his ways, she got her ways, right? But when you see, especially with that Magician in reverse, but then the Hierophant is here, and it's to eventually come to agreement and balance things out, right? So it's about, at some point, these two will get on level playing field. They will, which I think they have on some level, because I'm not sure. I don't think he shows the baby anymore, right? But online or whatnot. But at some point, it'll get better, because judgment is here and it's in the upright, right? It's like they found a way to kind of, it's like he pulls back in a sense. Look, that's father. Emperor is the father, right? It's like taking a break. It's like stepping back. So if they did have communication issues, it's like he been put on pause on some level, right? Away from the child for a period of time, because it's in the cards. But legally, they are going to meet each other halfway. You can see that in the cards. But something about him being on pause, all right, when it comes to that baby. She has the control when it comes to that situation. It's like he present, but then it's like something about him, you know, like I said, it's he on pause when it comes to that child, you know. And it's a place for him to make some more solid decisions. I'm gonna pull from that other deck too. Let me get that energy. That's interesting. Let me pull from this one. I want to see what these cards gotta say. He having some life lessons learned, okay? Right now, when it comes to being a father, being a parent, you know, you moving on your career standpoint, but it's that divine intervention wasn't there for no reason. That card of awakening and the deja vu is like, oh, he having some moments where his thought process is switching. She's also having some moments too on the opposite end on, you know, how they'll deal with each other, how they move forward with one another, right? His current energy, right? Parenting. You see that? I'm sorry, that failed, but it failed good. Straight, just like this, so we're gonna keep it the way it failed, okay? Okay. It's extra. We'll sit it to the side. Okay. Something about them. Something about that. I'm telling you. No, I ain't crazy. That was an extra. That was an extra. Let's see. Okay, so the focal point, like I said, and the cards are consistent because it's right here, even before I even turn it. It's like these two with their Two of Swords and the energy of this Lovers in reverse is like they just got misaligned values. What she want and he want is two different things. So these two over a period of time are going to learn how to compromise, meet each other in the middle so they can, you know, co-parent more successfully. Look, the Magician is there again. The same message, the same card. The Star was there too. Can't make it up. And the energy is here, the King of Coins, right? Which in reverse is about, you know, controlling ways, hasty ways. So it's a lot that he does that y'all can't see behind the scenes when it's communicating with her. So even though things came in our face, it's still things that he's done, you know, disloyalty, different things, okay? And like I said, the controlling energy was in the base cards, okay? And then again, this is about minimizing his, not, I wouldn't necessarily say connection with the child, but the visitation and the, you know, having them. Because the Four of Coins is here in reverse, right? And it's like he got to release the ways that he's viewing things. And it's like she's pressing him to reevaluate his priorities, which those messages were in his cards when we pulled his current energy, right? But this King of Cups is here in reverse. It's about when it comes to her and this baby, it's emotional immaturity here. Controlling ways and wanting to, you know, control how he gets the child, when he keeps the child. You know, it's interesting because the way he is with India Love is totally opposite of the energy that he has with Halle Bailey. You know, the full moon is here. So about timing, you know, I could see, like I said, moving forward, we even can hear something about how they deal with each other in the next month. Or maybe even by the next full moon, okay? This full moon was in Gemini communication. Remember, whatever comes off the full moon comes within the first 6 weeks. It could be 2 weeks, 6 weeks, or the first 6 months after that moon disseminated. And this just happened. So we'll hear about how they communicate and move forward, okay? This is Halle in the upright. She's here. Showed up right in the reading. Queen of Coins. She's a Capricorn sun, earth energy, you know. And she's standing in her energy and her power. Full moon is the mother. Full moon, definitely the mother. And this is her energy of awareness. Even her as a mom, even when you see that full moon beside the Queen of Coins, she's truly evolving into momhood. In her motherly energy, okay? If she, not saying that she didn't have it before, but what I'm saying is her having a child has really, you know, illuminated her subconscious energy, okay? She's grounded, you know, she's into being organized, and she's nurturing and very protective over her baby. So this is the energy of a parent that's present and truly cares. And look, you got 2 timing cards here. So he has to move out of this energy, and that's what we were seeing in the cards. Because this is autumnal equinox. So in his energy, we saw judgment and an upright, preparing for change. Preparing to move forward for the better, okay? Timing, this is the energy of a few months ahead. Like I said, you know, making long-term plans. You know, expressing gratitude. Fall energy, right? So by fall, he will have that divine intervention energy, you know, of next year, 2026, where he will have those deja vu moments and moments of evolution where he will, again, like you said, up to the 6 months, even up to a next season, we'll see a change in him and his energy on not just being a parent, but how he communicates and, you know, kind of releasing some of the toxic ways that you don't get to see. All right. Magician is here. Resourceful creator. Energy. You know, pulling that energy north, south, east, or west. But again, he's going to manifest, you know, the energy of and the willpower to move forward with a better relationship with her. And we saw that in the messages towards the end, because the star card is here, and that's about healing energy, renewal energy. So at some point, these two will get on level playing field, okay? And even if this to me is the energy that represents what they've been through, the trouble with that 6 of Swords, you know, they're gonna have some disagreements. We saw that in the cards, right? Where they can kind of have a energy brewing of them both disagreeing with things. But death is about not physical death, but internal change. So he's going to come into even through the seasons cards with the moon and the equinox, he's going to evolve and experience a transformation in his life where he's going to evolve into a better person. We saw the emperor, a better father, and he's going to change the mindset and truly move ahead, right? Look at that. Planning better, doing things better with this energy of 2 of Coins, right? Because this card is about planning and execution. So any poor decisions he's making and overcommitments, he's going to evolve in that transformation. And then, you know, the 8 of Wands is here. Like I said, right now, he may not have his hands on this baby like how he used to what we saw. The messages are here. But eventually healing comes, okay? At some point, these people meet each other halfway and they, you know, are able to work it out, okay? It's interesting. DDG and Halle, baby. So they'll work it out at some point, guys, but it's a rocky road. You know what I mean? Yeah, his manipulative ways coming out. Behind the mask was right there, right? Just doing shit. Mirror, mirror. He got to work on it. Commitment issues when it came to her, too. Look, no filter energy, right? But past life connection. That's when he kept posting that baby, that clickbait card. All the time, right? All the time, posting the baby. All the time, child. You know? I want to ask the cards how he feel about her. I don't want this to just keep going forever. I'm sorry, it went all the way under there, y'all. Damn. I don't even think I can get it. Let me see. I'm sorry. Yep, we gonna stick with that. He gonna keep having a divine intervention. Y'all see that? That is so interesting. We're gonna keep having that. So he gonna definitely evolve by when the seasons change, we could see some growth in him, right? Okay, and he'll bounce back and all the things. We know he's an influencer of all the things. And let's ask about India Love, and then we gonna get out of here. That's there for 1 to 3 cards on how he feel about Halle, right? Mother already popped out, the moon. And like I said, we could hear some messages about them in the near future too, all right? You could see that because it was, you know, constant thing. How do you feel about her spirit? Feel about Halle, baby. How do you feel about her? Heartbreak, you see it. Mother, not willing right now. They may not be in the best place, but the legal system may make, based on their legal agreements, have to meet certain terms of parenting. But it don't look like he got that baby as much as it look like it's a pause somewhere, right? And then he feel like, look at the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak card. You see that? Felt like she was rigid. Queen of Swords, pessimistic, you know, cruel, not willing to, you know, bend when it came to dealing with him. The Ace of Cups is in reverse, you know. This is just a breakdown. That's how he feel about her. That's over with too. So he got transformations and evolution for him, right? So let's ask about our girl India Love and see what's up with her. Miss Aquarius Sun. Same birthday as my baby. Crossy Wouse. Let me see that. We can get some T cards on her. Okay, I'm glad y'all riding with me. So interesting. India Love, India Love. Let's see. Let's get some current energy around her. Cause she moving around, honey, ain't she? Making her runs. But as far as DDG career goes, it looks like he's going to continue to soar, guys, okay? Let's be clear, but he got some things that he has to work on personally. Personal character, you know, personal self. And as he evolves, he gonna learn. He learning lessons through this situation right now with, you know, briefly dealing with India Love. You know, they young, so they all learning lessons, okay? And so let's get the current energy around Miss India Love. Thank you, Spirit. Let's get the current energy for her. It's interesting, they got the same energy. So that's how you notice the current energy. That's funny. Let's get some extra messages for her. Yep. Okay. Okay. Wow. Sorry, that was already up, right? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's get into her. Interesting. The first card for her is the Justice card in reverse, and they had that card, right? Because this represents the relationship between the two, the imbalance. You know, her decision to go up there and do what she did on that award streaming program and, you know, state that she felt like they should win, right? And this is the energy of, it wasn't a good idea to do this. And now, look what card is right beside it. Anxiety card, the 9 of Swords. She done had time to think about it, and it's stressful for her. You know, it sent her to a... So when you saw her on screen, you know, apologizing, even though she was made to do that, remember I said, I wonder what she had really done that for real. Yeah. Because this sent her to a point, you know, a breaking point. This is her losing a relationship, or how her and DDG were. She's disappointed in that. All right. It's giving her anxiety. You know, the little depression of a sense. Here's Temperance for the imbalance. It wasn't a good decision to go up there and do that. And it created an imbalance, period. Right? 4 of Wands is here. You know, so this is this is about home and stability. And she just feel like her foundation been shaking a bit. You know, but when you see that 4 of Wands, this was the event. That's what that is. They were in, or they were at. 2 of Cups, this is the mutual respect that she had for DDG. And she truly felt, you know, that she felt like what she did was upright. But once it happened, she realized it wasn't a good decision. It's been sad for her to experience the break. Because they were working together. Look, 3 of Pentacles. But due to the conflict, create the division for him to pull back, right? Bad planning. She didn't think this through. Okay? Also, the moon is there. That's the deception. It's some energy between them and her doing other things. But we'll hear some more things come out about her. Didn't they say that she was possibly allegedly dating Trevon, right? This is the energy, when you see this, and this is the energy that was in his cards as well. She really does feel, you know, at a situation of, like, damn, I feel bad about what I did. And this is in general, decisions she been making in general, right? Temperance in reverse, justice in reverse. Not making the best decisions, period. Has created this upside down energy, all right? And this is her in a place of just trying to, this is the Aquarius card, the Star card. This is her energy. Him pulling back the offer, right? Of their creativity and them moving forward. I mean, even though it's heartbreak here, right? With that 3 of Swords for her, it's about through this lessons learned. You see that? With the Ace of Swords. She may feel like this, but as she moves forward, she has clarity and breakthrough and new beginnings in how she's going to communicate better, move forward, and make better decisions. And this is India Love's current energy, right? Okay. Let's see, a 3-way card. Let's see how she feels about DDG. And then we're going to ask how she feels about that other guy, too. We're going to ask 1 to 3. How does she feel about DDG? She feels about DDG. Let's see. Ooh, that came right out. She got 2 cards of moving forward. She moving forward. She feel like he didn't have her back, you know? That's what these represent. He did not have her back when she went up there and stood up for what she felt like. When she truly felt like she meant, hey, I'm repping for you. I believe they should have won, which wasn't the most, like you said, clearly it wasn't a good idea to do. But she felt like he's pulled back from her. He abandoned her. You know, she like, cool. Moving on. Interesting. They'll be cordial, but she feel like you didn't have my back, how I had your back. Let's see. Give me the energy around you. How she feels about what's the boy? Let's see. I want to see what his sign is. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's see. Trevon.This. They babies, y'all. He's a Virgo. He a baby. He's 27 years old. And he's a Virgo sun and moon. Yeah, because her last name Westbrooks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. She's Aquarius. She's about... the energy around the two of them. They dating, looking up. Okay. Hot and cold. Coming in an upright, gifts, how you treat her. But it doesn't go the distance. You can see it in the cards. Something to do for the moment. And then you just call it a truce. You see that? It's something to do for the moment. Okay. Let's get some, let's pull some of these for her. I don't know. Let's see, we'll just do like 3 and 3. What's the current message card for her? I hope y'all doing good. Interesting. For Miss India Love. She just having fun, something to do, you know. Third party interferences. She got to slow down with her alcohol use or drug use because she was definitely lit and inebriated that night, remember? Sneaky link, that came up in the messages, okay? A hidden love, a low-key relationship side booty call. Vibes, unexplained, you know, instances. Listening to her intuition. That's interesting. Like I said, it's just something for her to do. That could be her sneaky link. You know what I mean? Receipts. Something gonna come out though. We'll hear something about her sooner or later, right? So what's ahead for this girl in her love life and what she trying to do with her career? Because it just seems like it's a fall for her right now. She just trying to find her footing and find her way. Spirit, even that 3 cards. What's ahead for Miss India Love? And her finding what she gonna do, love and relationships, and career. What's ahead for her? She got some. Let's see. Another message on her. What's ahead, baby girl? She just got to get on there and start to find her footing and her voice and motivate instead of continue to get up there and have to, you know, what you call the word? Right now, like you said, she just trying to figure out her way with the Page of Coins in reverse, you know? She's trying to figure out her goals and how she want to move forward. But the timing here is here. So by the fall, you know, we'll start to see her make changes, okay? By fall, change will come. Empress energy, she'll start to embrace more of that. Remember I said she got to do something to motivate, and you know, that's her gifts, is to give and speak to people. So she will make these changes by fall. You'll see 2026, and she'll be stepping more into her feminine power, but in a more positive way. Remember, creativity and, you know, she just has that energy of, like you said, the no action, no movement. She just trying to figure it out. She got to figure out how to use her feminine power for good and not for what it's used for right now, right? She going to be heeding the call. Judgment is here, and it came through in all their cards. She going to have a new spiritual story, an awakening ahead for her. Remember I said by fall, she going to figure out her mission. She going to step better into it. And you're going to see an evolution of change for her, all right? So through these energy moments, low vibrational moments, moments of, you know, disappointment, stagnation, deceit, any of the things that she's dealing with, right? She going to eventually, it's awakening time coming. And she going to release it. And she going to move forward, okay? She going to pay attention to the red flags. She going to change her outcome. Regeneration. She's going to make a comeback, all right? She's either going to move on, or she going to have a soulmate step in. And it could be somebody from her past to step in for her as well. So that is what will be ahead for Miss India Love. And that is going to be the reading. I think we answered a lot of questions for them. And we can always revisit, but that's where we are right now. And that is the messages for those, you know, DDG and Miss India Love, all right? So peace and love, soul family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that like button and hit your bell notifications. I'm working on putting this stuff out, all right? And so I will see you guys soon in the next one. Look for them. All right. Peace and love. See y'all soon. Thanks for watching The Common Corner Show. Peace and love, soul family. And I'll see you guys in the next one.